Welcome to Interview Pro. In the last video, we have learned class binding using class attribute and ng class directive. We enabled the submit button based on the data provided by the user in the feedback form using ng class. Also, we applied border to this input when there is no data. This border was applied using class attribute. We may want to use inline styles in a few scenarios. So let's take the same example and implement the same using styles instead of classes. So here, instead of class.red border, I want to use an inline style. So basically in HTML, how do we apply inline style? We use style attribute, and inside this we provide our classes. We provide our styles. So I'll say solid red. Let's move to the UI. Now we see the border, but we want this border to be applied only when there is no data in this name field. So let's see how we can do this conditionally. If we want to apply the style conditionally, what we can do is just like how we used class.red border, here we can use style dot the style that you want to apply. Here the style that I want to apply is border. So I'll say style dot border. And what is the value? 1 pixel solid red, and this style should be applied only when username dot length equal to 0. So I'll use a ternary operator here. If this condition is true, the style will be applied, otherwise I don't want any style. So let's save this and go back to UI. The border is present. As soon as I enter the data, the border is gone. If I remove the data, the border is back again. Now, this is a simple style. This is a one word style. What if I want to apply background color? Usually in the style, how do we use background color? This way, background hyphen color. But in this case, it doesn't work like that. You have to use a camel case like this, background color without a hyphen. And when this condition is true, I want the background color to be red, otherwise no background color. So since there is no data in the name, we see red color. As soon as I enter the border, the background is gone. So we don't want a background color here. I just want a border. So I'll revert this change. Now let's try to apply the styles for the submit button. Previously, we used ng class. Here, if the username is available and feedback is also available, then we applied a style called button hyphen primary, where the button was blue in color. When the username or feedback has no data, we used a class button hyphen secondary. There is a common method, common class as well, no matter whether the data is present or not. Let's try to replace this with style. So I'll remove ng class here, and so first, based on these conditions, let's create classes. So for let me go to feedback component. I have already created an object with the required style. So button style is my object, which has the styles like I want the button color to be white, and I don't want any border for the button, and the border radius should be 4 pixel. Usually it would be border hyphen radius, but here we use border radius with camel case. Similarly, background color as well. The background color is blue. Now I want to use this object in my HTML. So to use that object, or to use the styles coming from the TypeScript, we can make use of a directive called ng-style. So ng-style is a directive provided by Angular, using which you can apply classes dynamically. So here I will simply make use of the button style. Now let's go back to UI. We see that the button has blue color with text which is in white color with no border and 4 pixel border radius. Now we want to enable or disable this button based on the data entered in this field. To do that, we can't achieve that by using a variable. So let me create a method here. I'll say get button style. Inside this, I'll have a initial object. So even when the button is enabled or disabled, few styles are common, like this color, the border, and the border radius. Only thing that is going to change is the background color. So let me copy this. I'll paste it here. Now based on the data, so if username dot length equal to 0 or feedback dot length equal to 0, If either of these variables do not have data, we want the background color to be gray. What I'll do is style of background color equals gray. So we are simply adding another property to this style object, which is background color. If this condition is false, then we'll make this background color blue. I'll simply copy paste and update this color to blue. Now finally, we should return this style. So this get button style will be called in this ng style here. Now let's go to the UI. Now initially there is no data for username and feedback, so the button is disabled. Now if I enter some data, the button will be enabled and it turns blue in color. So this is how we can apply styles dynamically using style attribute and also using ng style directive. When it was a simple condition and a simple style to be applied, we use style attribute. When it is a complex condition, when we have multiple conditions and based on the condition we want the style to change, we used ng style. To ng style, we can simply use a simple property from the component.ts, or we can make use of a method as well. So this process is called style binding in Angular. I hope the concept is clear. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to Interview Pro. Thank you.